What is going on, everyone? Welcome in to episode 41 of The Scope. It is a big week, although this is an FPS podcast, and I promise everybody we will cover the majority of FPS things around the genre. It's a big week for everyone, as probably the biggest first-person shooter that we've seen come out in a long time is releasing this week. We played a little bit of it last week. So while we are talking about some other things, this is going to be a pretty Call of Duty-centric episode. Luckily, to my right, your left. Wait, my left, your right. We have one of the biggest Call of Duty creators, gun expert on the program, BuffNerd Gaming. What's up, man?
What an intro. Love it. I'm good. I'm really good. Glad to be here. My favorite part of my Monday. So love doing a good live stream, and we got a good amount to talk about too. Yeah, like you said, it's a pretty big week. So biggest FPS week we've had in a long time, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's not a good Call of Duty that we get excited about every week or every year, but this is one that's pretty excited for across the board. I gotta practice that. My right, your left. No, backwards again. My left.
Yeah.
The viewer's right.
Yeah, there it is.
Next week I'm gonna nail it. I'm gonna sit in front of the mirror and I'm gonna practice that. I'm gonna get it down. Don't worry, guys. This show will get better. It'll get better.
I'm gonna hold you to it next week. We're gonna see if you get it right or not.
Dude, I gotta practice. How was your weekend? What's going on? What's going on in the world? Getting geared up for content?
Yeah, kind of. It was as my cat is messing with my green screen. No, it was actually a pretty busy weekend. Did a lot of I had to get a U-Haul and go back to our old apartment had like its own storage unit there, so I had to we loaded that stuff up and brought it to another storage unit, and then brought stuff from the house to the storage unit. So it was pretty busy. Definitely zero rest, but I got to made a nice fire pit yesterday, so we had a fire last night and watched some House of the Dragons, so it was pretty good.
Nice. Are you you kind of getting everything in a line so you can hit it running on Friday? Hit the ground running on Friday with everything? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I'm ready to go. For those other people that tuned into the campaign live stream, my PS5 was just like freaking out. I don't know. It just started doing this thing after I preloaded where it like randomly will just start, like, even if I load up to the main cross media bar of the PS5, it'll just start, the audio will be like start glitching and chopping up really bad, and then it lags. So like if I'm trying to like go left or right on my cross media bar, it like won't respond for 3 seconds, and then it like over compensates. And like there's half a terabyte of memory still. I deleted all my games, all the extra stuff. So I don't know what the heck's going on. I took it apart and cleaned it last night. It seems like it was better, so we'll see. Huh. But if I need to, I'm going to be buying another PS5 this week.
Have you found any, like, Googled online and found what that could be? Is anybody else having that trouble, or is it weird? Like, is it kind of a one-off thing, or are you just lucky?
I think it's just me. As you guys can see, my cat is like playing on my green screen in the back, so you saw all the moving boxes behind the green screen. But yeah, it looks like, from everything I saw, we were all Googling it pretty heavily during the stream to try and figure it out. And I saw some things like in the past people were having some problems, but this was like next level. It got to the point where I was in one of those campaign missions, and you couldn't hear any of the audio. It was so choppy. The gameplay, it was just laggy. It was horrible. So I don't know what it was. I've tried everything, and I think hopefully cleaning it seems like it helps so far. I gotta play a little bit more and just make sure. But I have locations scouted out that have PS5s if I need to go and drop like 800 on a bundle version or something to make sure I'm ready to go.
Oh no, I hope not. Well, at least there's a few of them around, I guess. Just killed my other piece. Dude, I am like breaking everything I touched today. I had your stream pulled up on my work computer over here, and I just killed it. Like, I don't know what I did, but it's dead. Okay. Neat. So hopefully this computer.
Killed the computer? Oh no.
I took my wrist rest off my off my keyboard, and I set it by that computer, and it just gone. Like I unplugged it from the wall. So hopefully the one that's running this program, I don't.
Yeah, let's not lose the other one. Yeah,
I don't want to touch anything. The production team is like trying to sabotage us right now. I don't know what the hell's going on over here. It's a disaster. Yeah, my weekend, I've been pretty busy with stuff around here with our horses and stuff, getting ready for winter. Had to work on a horse tank and stuff like that, but not too much going on. Kind of getting ready for archery season, a little bit more chasing deer, a little bit more heavy duty with the bow and arrow.
there you go. There you
And
go.
then other than that, not too much. Weather's finally cooling off. We finally got some rain. So it's one of those days outside right now. It's like cool and cloudy and a little bit rainy. That like fall is setting and the leaves are changing on the trees. And that's like kind of Call of Duty time. And I'm getting those feels. I'm getting those like nostalgia feels of a Call of Duty coming out again. Cause I like many people who started with first person shooters. That's kind of where I started, was with Call of Duty, like most people. And it just has that feeling in the air, like Call of Duty time is here. I remember like
There you
going to
go.
standing in line at GameStop and stuff like that. It was awesome.
Yeah, those were the days for sure. I remember doing the old GameStop thing. And waiting outside, pre-ordering all that stuff. So now we get to digitally preload though and get going right at midnight. So that'll be good.
I might just go stand outside the GameStop anyway, just to get the feeling in. Even though I don't
just for
understand
nostalgia.
They come outside. Hey man, what are you doing? Shut up. Get in the mood. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we should probably talk about video games. That's why most everyone is here potentially. I guess. You know, whatever.
Fine.
So yeah, before we get into it, you guys know we are broadcasting to multiple different channels, so keep an eye on the screen for chat. You guys will be able to see what people are saying all across different channels, so everyone here will see what you're saying from wherever you are. And also, chat is on the screen, so you guys become part of the show. When people watch the VOD, your thoughts are important to us. That's why it's on the show. Another small announcement. I saw some people asking about this before. When we talk about the campaign, I think Buff and I said we'll talk about we'll kind of do a non-spoiler. If some of you guys are still working on it, we'll do kind of a non-spoiler review, and then we'll have like a little bit of a spoiler watch. We'll let you know. Warning. There'll be a warning. We'll talk a little bit about the story, and then we'll all come back together, get you guys back in, and we'll go over some multiplayer launch week stuff, what we can all expect, launch times, maps, modes, guns, some of that stuff that's coming up on Thursday night for me. Probably you too, or are you like right at? You might be.
I think it's right at midnight for me. So technically Friday. Yeah.
I'm 11 p.m. So I have that pulled up, the launch schedule for everyone to look at, so you guys can see when everybody will be able to jump in, and we'll definitely check it out. Also, for some fucking reason, this thing is an audio podcast. So if you're interested in that, if you guys are busy, if you're driving, I'm sorry you have to listen to us, but if you choose to, you can. So that's in the link. It's in the description wherever you are. If you like the audio version, it's actually been picking up steam, oddly enough. So that's interesting.
All right. Shout out to podcast guys. Love it.
Yeah. We love you. Even though we may forget about you and explain stuff on the screen, and you guys are probably like, really, guys? I'm sorry. We do love you. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, even though everything is about Call of Duty this week, it is the launch week. We've played campaign. We've seen some things, and a lot of people are talking about it. We have something that's like kind of big, in my opinion. It's yet another AAA studio that's throwing their hat in the Extraction Royale scene, the Tarkov like game mode, where instead of last person standing or last team standing, it's a choose your mission, get in, get your stuff done, and get out. So that's something we've been seeing. Again, we expect that to see with DMZ, but this is coming from Bungie. So we're going to talk about this a little bit because it is worth noting. I think it's kind of a big deal. This was first reported over on Insider Gaming. I honestly didn't read into it too much, so we're going to kind of check it out together. It was Tom Anderson's Insider Gaming. Did you ever play Marathon way back in the day from Bungie? Like way back?
No, I don't think so. And I'm trying to remember, and I don't even know if I've heard of it, to be honest. But I'm sure if I look it up, I'll recognize it.
It's like super old school, like from the 90s. So it's like one of the first shooters. But they said, according to Tom's sources over at Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson, they're set to bring back Marathon series with a new game that will be a 3-man squad extraction-based shooter. It's in pre-alpha state. It sounds like, and then Jeff Grubb talked about it on his podcast too, Game Mess Mornings. He added a little bit of context, not too much about where they're at in the development of it, but it takes place on a planet that was previously home to a human colony that vanished with humans, now sparse, using highly customizable cyborgs called runners to gather loot. So it sounds kind of like a scav, right? Like you have your runner that can go in and get loot for you. It's understood that the gameplay loop of Marathon is similar to most extraction-based shooters. Choose a mission, buy your loadout, drop in, and try to extract safely. But it's understood that if you lose or if you die, you'll lose all your stuff. What they've said, and some of the other stuff, it's supposed to be really heavy into progression, which is one of the things I'm worried about in DMZ. Like, how are they going to keep people playing and keep people interested? The game is intended to be the ultimate example of a living game. Seasonal rewards and progression will be a huge part of the game, which isn't surprising considering Bungie's success with Destiny and its live services. This will be the first non-Destiny title the studio has developed in over a decade. So I feel like it kind of is a big deal. Wow. They've filed some patents, or excuse me, some trademark stuff that's not too important. They were contacted and didn't respond. I think when Jeff Grubb talked about it, I'm paraphrasing here and using my boomer brain to try to go back and remember what he said, but he said there was a lot of development put into customization and put into events. The world is going to be dynamic, changing all the time, and like Earthy Teddy is saying in chat, yeah, it sounds a lot like the Cycle, similar kind of setting. I'm not sure in Cycle Frontier if you have like a scav type runner like they're gonna have, but yeah, it sounds like Bungie is making its first non-Destiny title in over a decade, and it's going to be an extraction shooter like Tarkov. Buff, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see like where it goes or what it turns out to be, because it sounds good. I'm just curious. The Cycle is going to be what kind of time period? I guess I doubt it's going to be. It's going to be more of Bungie titles are usually like more futuristic stuff, like this Cycle and in Destiny. So I'm assuming it'll be kind of around that time period ish, I guess, right? So I'm sure it'll be pretty cool. And Destiny is always still a lot of people playing that today. Those were great games. So, but it is pretty cool that it's the first non-Bungie title they made in over 10 years. So that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, they've also worked on some of the first Halos as well. So they're in that sci-fi shooter space. So yeah, it'll be really interesting if they come up with. This game also, fundamentally, since Sony bought them, will technically be backed by Sony. And Edward Zassia did the Marathon games use the Quake engine. I really think so. I have a tiny memory of Marathon. My parents' computer, my mom did computer work in our house, and we had a really old Mac, and the shooter was actually on Macintosh. And I looked it up, and it came out in 1994, so I would have been 7. But I remember my mom would get these Macworld magazines, and it would have demo discs in it sometimes. And there was a game demo disc that had a marathon demo on it. So like I barely remember. Cool. I barely remember Marathon. So like it's kind of cool. So that'll be I'm excited to see what they do. I'm still kind of like almost an extraction shooter denier right now. I'm not a truther. I'm kind of a denier. I'm worried about replayability of these, just kind of how I've got sucked into Tarkov and then kind of stale on Tarkov. I'm worried about DMZ, but after what we saw in the campaign, I have a little more hope for it, because I feel like, look at this professional segue, by the way.
Boom.
Yeah. What I saw in the campaign seemed like a lot of kind of feature previews of what could be coming to DMZ.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
So here we are. Modern Warfare 2 campaign review. I played it. Took me 2 tries, 2 sittings. Yeah. I think we should start off. What's your rating out of 10?
I definitely need to play through it again. I think right off the bat, I'd go with like an 8, probably. But when I play it through fully again, could go higher, could go lower. Like I said, a lot of those issues I had with the PlayStation really kind of threw me off. So it was hard to. I did miss a little bit of one of the missions and stuff like that, and I just restarted everything and trying to go back and do it. So I did miss some things in there, but I really liked it overall. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10 right now, and then that's definitely subject to change once I go back through it again.
I want to give it like a 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you like flesh that out, I thought the graphics were like really good, like a 9.
Yeah.
And I thought a lot of the mechanics were kind of new that I hadn't seen before. Those were like a 9, but I felt like the story kind of brought it down. Striking, we're not going to do spoilers now. We're going to talk kind of overall about it for a little bit, and then when we get into the story in a little bit, we'll let you guys know about spoilers. So we can cut that off, and we'll kind of mark it with my standby screen so you guys know when to come back. We'll kind of try to do it that way. So we'll let you know if we're going to do spoilers. So for now, we're just kind of talking overall campaign. But I thought the story was kind of not as good as 2019. I don't know.
There was definitely, yeah. I mean, and without going into spoilers right now, we'll get into it in a little bit. But I did feel, I actually loved a lot of the campaign, and I thought a lot of it was better than 2019. But then I thought they also were trying to. It seemed like they were doing a little bit too much in some of the missions with the story, and it kind of got a little jumbled in there. And it also feels like maybe some missions were cut, to be honest, just with the way the story kind of turns pretty quickly there. So I don't know if that's the case or not, but
yeah, we did see there were a lot of the Ralph's Valve leaks about the campaign that weren't in there. So I could definitely have seen them of cutting some things. It almost feels like where some of those missions where you could reply to the characters, it didn't feel like that had a bearing on anything, like in the conversations. So it was kind of
right.
It kind of felt like they did cut some stuff. Like the campaign maybe could have branched out depending on how you played certain things or changed. It was really linear. But yeah, the gunplay was so good.
Right.
There were some interesting mechanics, and I don't think talking about the mechanics are really a spoiler. The crafting. No. The crafting and stuff like that I was instantly, and I saw you play in your stream, you were instantly like, holy shit, DMZ, like right here. Like when you had the backpack and you got into that and you could grab and equip different stuff out of your backpack, I was like, holy shit, DMZ. And then like a little bit later, I was like, oh my God, we're crafting, like picking up stuff and crafting things.
Right.
I was like, holy shit, that's DMZ. And
definitely.
So I got pretty hyped about that. And then I think the armor boys that you run into are going to be like different levels of scavs that you're going to see in DMZ as well.
Yeah, those guys were tough, man. Some of those guys took a whole 30-round mag. They were tough to kill. So yeah, exactly. That goes. I mean, I know in that Warzone 2 gameplay that they should have caught next, the bots were just like standing around there, but obviously there's varying levels of AI. So,
yep, those screamed DMZ to me, and some of the missions I felt like were a little bit monotonous, like they were drawn out just a little bit long, and some of them were kind of short. I thought, some of them where you kind of did the same thing over and over and over. Like the ghillie mission, you had to keep moving side to side and stuff like that, was kind of annoying. But yeah, overall 7 out of 10. This is coming from a video game stooge that doesn't play a lot of campaigns, so keep that in mind. I don't play that many campaigns, but I did play 2019's in this one. And I thought 2019's was a little bit deeper of a story. I got into the story a little bit, like, you know, how the conflict affected them as kids, how they grew up, and it kind of shaded their perspective on the world. And like this story seemed like just kind of more straightforward. Bad guys, good guys, shoot them up, let's go, which isn't all bad.
Yeah, and I do think, like I said, with this story, I mean, and we already, you know, we talked about the crafting and stuff. Like I said, that definitely was there for a preview for like stuff we're going to be seeing with DMZ and everything. I thought those missions, the first time you did it, I thought was good. Second time, I thought it wasn't really necessary there, and it was drawn out a little bit too long. And there was one of the missions where you meet up with Farah. I liked it a lot at first, and then it just got so drawn out. But that's also when all my PlayStation issues started, so it ended up being extremely hard. But that one I felt was a little bit over the top. But again, I need to play through it again. Overall, though, and then the last mission, I really liked the second to last mission as well. And then, but the last mission, like when you end, it just came up kind of abrupt. It just kind of felt, it didn't really feel like the ending gameplay wise leading to the end of the story that I would have expected. But then you had some really awesome like post credit stuff, which was really cool. So
yeah, and so not okay. A couple things I want to make sure we hit on. With the crafting, I thought that was really cool because in like Tarkov, you have crafting, but it's in your base. It takes a long time. It was cool. It was cool to see crafting on the spot. So I could see that playing a huge part, adding to replayability, adding to the complexity of the missions in DMZ. Say you have to unlock a box over here, but you have to gather the items and make like a pry tool over here, and then get across the map and unlock the box and get the stuff and extract. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of another game, Deadside, that we talked about with Blue the Robot.
Yeah.
Deadside had crafting in the game like that. You did it while you were there. Yeah, Tarkov is you just craft it in the hideout.
Right.
So yeah, that adds a lot to it. That helps. That eases my mind a tad. I'm still concerned about the DMZ replayability. And then talking about that ending before, we're not into spoilers yet, but talking about that ending, it definitely left it open for a season 2. Do you think that is what we know as allegedly DLC for the campaign next year, since there's no new COD? Or do you think it's going to be a continuation several years down the line with a Modern Warfare Roman numeral 3?
I think it's set up. They set it up for 2 years of support. So the way that ended, I think you're going to see the story continued with each season. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in additional campaign levels down the road as well. And with those campaign levels in some of those seasons, you see the campaign levels like matching with maybe some of the characters and content that's introduced. But yeah, I mean, they obviously set it up for another game for sure, but they already said this was the last Modern Warfare, but money talks. So I guess we don't really know, but I don't think they're going to, everything they kind of set up there, I don't think they're going to wait till for there to maybe or may not be another title. I think we're going to see that over the next 2 years of support.
I think so too. My reasoning is in the last earnings call for Activision, or one of them in this last year, they said there's going to be premium like paid DLC for this Call of Duty next year. So I think around the same time when people are generally get fatigued with a Call of Duty title, I think they're going to have another continuation of this campaign, like a campaign DLC. That's my bet. That's just me talking out of my ass, but that's what I think is going to happen based on the little bits and pieces that we've heard here or there.
Yeah, I completely agree.
All right, should we do spoilers?
Yeah, let's do it. So
all right guys,
I'll let you put the stuff up on the screen or however you want to do it. But yeah, from this point forward, guys, we're going to talk spoilers. So if we didn't finish the game and you don't want to be spoiled, we'll just, for the first thing I would say is keep an eye on the topics. So once we move on to MP
I'll put
launch week, you guys can mute us and Crash will put something up on screen here and then just come back.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put spoilers on the screen. And,
oh, you can do it? Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just put a text on here. It put it on the wrong thing.
That way you guys will know and you guys can come back. Just mute us if you don't want to be spoiled and keep an eye on the screen. We're not gonna show anything, and then as soon as the spoiler thing goes away, yeah, there you go.
That's the spot I put it on. That's what I picked. Cool.
Love it. As soon as it goes away and you see the topic switch, then you guys will know.
Okay. All right, guys. Spoilers. Ready? I knew Graves was a fuckboy, man. Look at that guy. I knew he was. Like the whole time. He just had that look to him, man. I don't know what you think.
Still my favorite character in the whole game. Graves, definitely still my favorite character. And again, talking spoilers, we didn't see him die, so I'm hoping he's not dead.
Yeah, I think he's alive. I do. They intentionally like didn't show him dead, but when we first saw him and how he was acting all macho and stuff, like typical CIA guy, and he just had that. I'm telling you, I can't explain his look other than a fuckboy.
Oh, dude, I loved him. He got me so hyped in those AC-130 missions. I was like, that was his first time on screen, I was like, fuck yes, this is what I got so pumped up with him giving his talks. I'm like ready to go.
Those were really cool. Those missions were cool. I was like, I remember after those, I was like, wow, that was neat. Like I didn't think that would be a part of the mission, just because usually you're the one getting down dirty, clearing the buildings and stuff. But it was really cool to kind of sit up in safety and just drop fucking bombs on people. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then I also had a feeling about Shepard. He just kind of had that look to him, and that could be my bias from watching Terminal List, like him being a little shady, like the upper command being a little shady.
Right.
That probably comes from Terminal List. He turned. I kind of was worried about Alejandro, but he was cool, and everybody else like seemed pretty cool. He was a really cool character. And then, what are your thoughts on Valeria? Everybody's talking about her.
Oh man, I mean that's whatever. That was around the time my PlayStation like was going crazy. You're leading into that mission too, so I missed like the setup and was just kind of just over it at that point. So I need to. That's a mission I need to go back and replay, so I can like actually pay attention because it was just like going crazy. But I mean, yeah, everyone's simping pretty hard over her, so whatever.
Yeah. The thing that I thought was really cool that she said was at the end that they're gonna get her for what she did, and she had like the line where she said, "Doesn't matter what I did, it's what you can prove," which I thought that was a pretty baller line. Rodolfo pissed me off. He was not because of the story, because of how his AI behaved. In that tank mission, he literally just stood there. He's like,
did nothing.
He's like, you fight that tank, and then
I won't cover you, and I won't shoot the Shadow Company guys coming after you.
I won't do anything. I'll just wait here.
Speaking of, I mean, that's a good point because the team AI, like in the sniper mission, right? That all Gill It Up 2.0. What the hell was the name of it? I just had it up on screen. That one, like, recon by fire. So Captain Price was pretty bad at covering you. I played it on hardened, I think originally, or veteran, I can't remember. And I'm going back and doing it on realism too. But playing through it on stream, like there was enemies just like coming out of nowhere from his direction, and he just like didn't shoot anybody. And I was just on stream. I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, Price, cover me, please. And like these guys are geared up like crazy, so you got to hit them in the head. And there's a couple instances where like I ditched my sniper rifle for an AK or something. So it was just like these guys are just coming in, and then you do gas in the air vents there, and like he isn't shooting people enough. So I don't know. It just, they really kind of let you do left you for dead there, unless you got a killer one yourself.
Yeah, they are weird. The AI was pretty bad, especially on your team. I had one.
Yeah.
There were just a couple things that took me out of it, like that Amsterdam mission. That map was gorgeous. The
Amazing.
Amsterdam one. But then they had one where I was walking up there, and what's the lady's name? The main. Oh shoot. The main blonde gal that like does everything.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat will help my
Kate, right? Kate
Laswell?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, Kate. She was walking with me and she walked right into one of the bad guys, and it did like the whole Laswell, yep. It did one of the whole like Grand Theft Auto things where they like bumped into each other. It was like really silly.
Oh no.
That was dumb. And then the other thing that made me laugh was the mission where you're gillied up with Price and taking out the guys down at the base at the lighthouse. That was a really cool looking map too. I hope we see that in the the DMZ map, or if that's part of the big map or what. I hope we see it again. But what was really funny is like he's like low humidity, no wind, good conditions, but the grass is like and the trees are like blowing like crazy, and he's like there's no wind, should make for easy shots. I'm like, is it though? So it was kind of funny.
I didn't even pick up on that when he said it. That's hilarious.
It made me laugh because like the grass and the trees are blowing, and he's like no wind or something like that, like talked about how calm it was, and I was like, nah dude,
I don't know about that.
but it was pretty sweet. So yeah, overall I liked it quite a bit. There were just like a few shortcomings here and there. But yeah, that was badass. At the end though, where the guy on the plane he was wearing all the gun parts and like put the Glock together with, that was pretty wild.
But yeah, I think it was supposed to either be Mac, or I need to go back and rewatch it. I don't know if he sent the text that said no Russian or he received it. So regardless, he's one of Makarov's crew, or Makarov. Call back to original Modern Warfare 2, no Russian, which is, remember, no Russian. That was great. So you're definitely going to see that story continued in some way or another, which is sick. Yeah, that was great to see.
Yep, I think next year or whenever they continue it, it's going to shift, of course, to Makarov and all that stuff.
But there was also like a lot in that campaign. I saw some people mention it in chat. Where Seneca? Okay, yeah, I saw some people mention it in chat. So like when Shadow Company and Graves turn on you, it felt like it came out of nowhere, because that was right after
it was fast.
That was right to the Dark Water mission. I think that's where I would say it feels like there was a mission left out or something, because they did the Dark Water mission, and then it's just like all of a sudden, step away from the gate. It just like came out of nowhere, and you're like, because the Dark Water ends and like your Soap and you and Graves are like fist bumping, like hugging, like yeah, we got him. And then it's like he's trying to kill you. It just really came out of nowhere, which it just felt weird to me. But so it feels like they skipped out on some missions there. And going back to what you said about Ralph and what his predictions were, or what he said about the game, more like gritty, close quarters missions like we saw with some of those Modern Warfare 2019 missions, which we didn't really see any of those. There was only one nighttime mission. There was really none of those Wolf Den type missions really, where you're stacking up and clearing the building. So it feels like they probably removed some things, and there's a lot of stuff he originally said about the campaign. So some stuff definitely got cut. It feels like there's a mission missing in there for the story somewhere. There was also that really cool part with Shadow Company though, and it was, I think, what was it, 3 months prior or something like that, they do the flashback, and Shadow Company gets ambushed by, I think they're called the Kony, which is the Russian PMC group, which epic. First off, really cool. So they got ambushed by the Russian PMCs. So we're going to see Russian PMCs eventually introduced into this story somewhere in this 2 years of support, which is sweet. We know from leaks that Bale and Velkin are going to be coming back. So I'm curious if Velkin is part of this PMC, or Bale's part of the PMC group, and then Velkin's still part of Shadow Company would make sense. But that's a whole thing of the story where I was like, holy crap, Russians, like we haven't seen Russians at all.
Yeah.
And I thought the story was going to pick up with like Russians coming in at this point, and that's where Makarov was going to come in. We didn't see that, but I'm guessing maybe Makarov being the leader of the Russian ultranationalist group, like they talked about at that bar. Maybe that PMC group is his shadow company essentially. So there was a lot of good stuff there with the campaign that I think they're going to expand on, and maybe it wasn't fleshed out fully for a reason, which we'll see with this paid content or the 2 years of support. But I did want to mention like the backpack system and stuff. I love the backpack system and the crafting. I really enjoyed it for the first mission alone. I liked it a lot, but it was hard. I didn't like part of that mission where Ghost is like, yeah, I already came through there. I'd like to work alone. I'm already at the church. It's like, dude, you could help me out because I don't have a gun and these guys are all have like level 5 body armor on. Like, come on, you already went through here. You didn't get me. And so you're just like, you're getting some wax and some matches and stuff and doing whatever. But I mean, it was cool. And I liked that mission. I thought that worked well. But the final mission there where you have to do it again, I think it was Countdown was what it was called. That crafting part kind of came out of nowhere. And it felt like really out of place for me. And
it was
out of place.
It was kind of like they're like, how cool was that crafting? I want to make sure you saw it. Let's do it again. Like,
yeah, and then they just ended the game with that. Yeah, they just ended the game with like that's how you end the game gameplay wise. It's like crafting stuff, and I just felt I was like, man, like I was just thinking like, Price and them are like right upstairs. Like, are they gonna come help me? Like, you're just stuck down here doing this weird stuff. It was weird. Yeah, I just thought it didn't belong in that mission.
The other thing that was like that was about that mission that was silly was, you're like creeping around stabbing these guys with chunks of glass, and then I'm thinking like, this is Call of Duty, this is the end of the campaign, I want to smack some fools with a gun at the end, right? And so I pick up a gun off one of those guys and it has 4 bullets, and I'm like,
yes,
I'm like, these guys that guy just like mag dumped at me 3 times, but now I pick it up and he just has 3 bullets. Like,
and he has armor, so you shoot and you ran out of ammo, and then I died. I was like, no, come on.
Yeah, it's like I just want to dumpster these guys.
Yeah, exactly. That was tough. Yeah.
Yeah. The heel turn was for Graves and Shepard was really fast and kind of seemed out of nowhere, and it also seemed kind of silly how it went from 0 to 100 in like 2 seconds to like, it kind of went from like, what's going on, which normally someone would be like, okay, well, we're going to call our superiors and have this hashed out and figure out what's going on. No, we're just going to try to kill each other. We're just going to go straight to like shooting at each other. It was kind of silly. Out of nowhere. It was kind of wild. And then there was some other stuff. I was telling people because folks in my chat when I was playing through it were like, this would never happen. And I'm just like, at some point when you're playing a campaign, you just have to like, not think about it too much.
Just go with it.
Just go with it. Have fun. Don't think about it too much, and you'll be fine. So that was it. There were some silly parts. It's like whenever you're shooting like the Mexican special forces and stuff, it's like this would be like a really big deal.
Yeah,
it's kind of
just engaging, and the Mexican special forces, and then the AC-130 mission, you're engaging the Mexican military. Granted, you're shadow company, so you're a PMC group, so like you're technically not part of the U.S. military.
You're like off the books or whatever, but still.
Yeah, but like you're just fucking dumping rounds on the Mexican military, man. Like you killed a lot of Mexican military in that mission, which is pretty wild.
Yeah, so that's what I was just like. At one point, they were asking me a lot of questions that I could not answer. And was just like, you can't think about it. We just gotta go with it at some point. But
right, yeah. And then the other thing I want to say, like, with the way the Shadow Company stuff kind of ended with Graves and everything, like, regardless, whatever you may think of his character, I thought the guy who did the voice acting in the mocap like killed it, man. He was he was so on, and I was pumped. So I thought the way they set him up and everything, and then just the way that story kind of concluded makes me think like there's no way he's dead, because he was like one of the highlights of that campaign, and I really like that. But I got to talk about that stupid, and again, okay, so I won't say stupid. I need to go back and replay it, to be fair. When what is it? Prison Break, whatever that one is with Farah, and you're racing to the front of the convoy.
Oh yeah.
So that, like I said, that's when my PlayStation like went nuts. So I can't accurately say whether it was good or not, but I felt like that mission dragged on too long.
Yeah.
But I need to play it again because I really that's when everything got messed up for me. But yeah, it felt like it went on forever.
I think you have the right idea because I remember saying, how fucking long is this road? Like, is this ever gonna run out? Like, are we gonna run to the end of this thing? Because it was a long time. That's what I mean about some of the repetitive stuff, like jumping a vehicle, taking it out. Like, you had to shoot guys out of the back of these trucks like 15 times and jump to this car and jump back, and it got kind of tedious. The same with the Price mission, where you were sniping and it's like, see if you can get 2 with 1 shot. It's like, oh, I guess I'll trot my ass over here, wait out, shoot these guys, and they're like, okay, now they're over here. Oh, but there's 2 and they'll see you. See if you can line up 2 with 1 shot. Okay, and I'll trot my happy ass back across over here.
Yeah, you're going from one end of the map to the other end of the map. I was like running all over the place trying to get that lined up.
Yeah, it was really, some of those things were kind of like tedious and kind of silly, but.
And we didn't see who is it? Joshua in chat just reminded me, you didn't see anything about Hassan, which is Farah's brother. Like, you didn't, I don't even think they mentioned him. I don't remember. So who knows what's gonna happen with that. But it seems like, yeah, it does seem like, granted, it's 3 years after Modern Warfare 2019, so the story.
You mean Hadir?
Yeah,
wasn't
Hadir,
that Far's brother? Yeah,
Hadir. And but yeah, they don't mention anything about him. And granted, it's 3 years after the 2019 campaign, so Farah was like, she had a very small, I mean, she was only in that mission in a very small role. So I'm just curious. I also noticed Gaz and Price really didn't have they didn't have a big role. Like, this was Ghost and Soap's story pretty much, which I loved it. Like, and Alejandro, I think that was who the story was for this time around. There really wasn't that many missions with Price or Gaz at all. It was mainly Alejandro, Soap, and Ghost.
Yep. I think, yeah, that's kind of what I thought of it too. I thought Farah could have had a bigger role, and yeah, who knows what happened to Hadir. I feel like they got her out of that because she was so central in the last one, and they didn't want to risk it being too similar. I felt like that's how fast they made her cameo, like just to get her in. Oh, cool, you see her again, and then she's gone.
Yeah, I really don't know what she would be doing if she had a bigger role. So I think it worked. But my favorite cutscene, I think, was the one where they interrogate Hassan in the desert there. And again, Graves, it just shows, like, I just loved how much of a badass he was. It's just like, Hassan's there, he's like, all right, we're alive, people. And he's like, do you speak Arabic? No. Just like typical American, man. Like, for all the non-Americans listening in chat and watching, like, that is stereotypical. And I mean, like, to be honest, we are like a bunch of cowboys, and that's really just how he comes off. It's just
you like, put my hat on.
Yeah, it just, Americans, we are just a bunch of cowboys, and like, I loved how they portrayed him because it was like your typical American. And regardless, like, okay, he didn't speak Arabic, he didn't speak whatever the other one language was. He's like, oh, I guess you'll speak your bastardized medieval English. It's like, regardless what you say, like, that motherfucker Graves, like, would get shit done no matter what. So it's just like, because he's a cowboy. I mean, I just love that portrayal. I thought the guy did a great job who did the voice acting. It was really cool. Just, yeah, yeehaw and shit. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was really cool to see. I love that. I just love the way it came off, because clearly Hassan was like a very intelligent person, but. And he's trying to point out that Graves is just like, stupid, only knows one language. But, I just like the way it played out, because Graves obviously, okay, he may not speak languages, but he is obviously very smart to be in the position he's in. And like gets the job done, which is again the position why he's in the position he's in. So I just thought it was done very well. I loved that whole cutscene and the acting there was great.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It was like at first I'm like, hey, you shouldn't talk about Americans like that, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm just like that. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
I mean,
stupid and don't really know that much. So good. Okay, cool.
I liked how, because it's like we're so headstrong, so it's like, I feel like that just kind of, I mean, it is stereotypical American, but we are headstrong, and we, no matter what, we believe we can do something, and we like, whether or not we're stupid enough to think we can do something or whatever it is, we always get shit done though. So it's just funny. I don't know whether we're that good or we're just like that ignorant to our limitations that we go past them. I don't know what it is, but it was a great scene.
Yep, it was pretty funny. I'm trying to think if there's anything else campaign wise. I think
I'm good with that. I think I gotta go through, play it again. My rating may change. I'll give it an 8 out of 10, but I can see where you're coming from with a 7. I was debating saying a 7, but I really enjoyed it. So I mean, I could go up or down when I go back through and replay it, but
IGN shit all over it. They said it was horrible.
Their headline for that was just stupid. They're like, it just fails in every way to live up to its predecessor. It's like, what are you talking about, guys?
And then they gave it a lower score than Vanguard.
I mean, that's the stupidest. That's so bad. That, like, Vanguard made no sense. You had just like Vanguard made no sense in the like that game. If they said it took place in an alternate reality, then it would have. But they're just like, it's a World War. They just didn't like the fact that first mission went the way it did, and who was part of that team just threw that. I stopped playing. I finished the first mission and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this crap. But IGN also said that the townhouse mission in Modern Warfare 2019 was like the most over the top violent thing they'd ever seen, and they were all just like, I can't play this game. I had to go in the other room and I couldn't watch. It was too much for me. So I mean, those are the people rating the game. So to be fair, I would trust Raven Software to give me a review over IGN any day of the week.
Yeah, well, it just goes to show like journalism for clicks and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they're stupid is really what it comes down to. But yes.
Yep.
Maybe that too. Maybe clicks, journalism. I'll just chalk it up to them. IGN losing their way over the past 10 years. They used to be like the go-to, man. I remember back in the day, COD 4, they gave a 10 out of 10. It was like a big deal. And it seems like the past couple of years, IGN's just like, I don't even know. Yeah, Chase kind of nailed where I'm coming from.
They all did. A lot of it seems like all those big organizations. That's why you guys come here for your real news, because we don't have any sponsors.
Clearing that house like you would in real life, and having special forces guys like help you with that and how it would be done. It's too much for my video games, and I need to go play Crash Bandicoot is really what it sounds like. So their review of the game, whatever, man. I mean, go play like Teletubby Island Adventure or something.
I heard Garfield Kart the lasagna bundles on sale on Steam, and it's pretty darn good. You can check that out. But I always just think they
give it a 10 out of 10.
I just feel like they go to the contrary of what everybody thinks, just so it's more controversial. They get more clicks, they get more ad revenue, and I don't know, the whole so anyway.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, just remember, Crash. No Russian.
No Russian. That's my best impression. I can't do it very good.
No Russian. Long live Bale. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, we're gonna get banned. We're gonna get banned from YouTube now. The algorithm's gonna find. Hope you're happy. You wanna talk about multiplayer?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get that spoiler thing off the screen, and we'll switch the topic so anyone who isn't watching the screen actively will know, maybe. Or, cool. Hey, no more spoilers. No more spoilers. I'm waving my hands. I'm back. We're good.
Come on. Yeah, that was a good idea to put that on the screen though, because people watch it on Twitter and stuff can scroll by if they didn't want. That was good. I think we advertised it pretty well.
That was perfect.
I think shout out production team. I think what I wanted to talk about, I guess first things first, we can show on screen. Sorry, podcast listener. We can show on screen about when you guys can play it, because it is kind of interesting. It looks like PlayStation 10/27, 4 a.m. Pacific to 9 a.m. Pacific regional rollout for Xbox as well, same thing. And then PC is a little bit later, right?
That's for the preload, right?
No, that's full game. So yeah, full game release launch.
For
So preload
9 PT. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
preload's
I think that's based on I don't know.
yeah, preload
Time
is
zones.
wait, what the is going on?
That
Oh,
confused me too. I don't
preload's
know.
already on 4 a.m. Pacific to 9 p.m. I don't know. It says regional rollout. I guess that's where it kind of starts. I guess I should have pulled up. Somebody made a map. I guess it starts in EU first and then comes around, and then like at
Yeah.
midnight it
People
allows.
were saying if you're in New Zealand, like you get it like way earlier. So people were joking like I'm gonna fly over to New Zealand and play earlier.
Some people were able to change their region on their console and hit a VPN and unlock it in previous titles. So that might be something to try if you're that crazy about it. For me on PC, it's very straightforward. October 27th, 9 p.m. Pacific. So 11 my time, 11 p.m. Thursday. PC launch.
And I'm Friday morning midnight 12 a.m. So, which is good. I pulled this exact thing up earlier because for whatever the hell reason I thought the game came out same timeline that the campaign did. So it would be like this coming Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I was like, all right, nice. I'll take a half day. And I was like, maybe I'll do a 12 or 24-hour stream, and I can get a full night's sleep. And now I found out it's coming out at midnight. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, how you're going to play that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'll play it right at launch, and I'll go through as long into the morning as I can. But damn, man, definitely. Thank you, Teddy. Being up all day, like gymming, and then I'm not a nap guy, so I can't like come home from the gym Thursday night and take a nap and then like wake up and play. So I'm just gonna be up a long time. So I'm gonna have to take a nap sometime that morning. Probably. I want to do a 24-hour stream, but Jesus, I don't know. I'm gonna see. I'll probably take the day off Friday so I can do something, but we'll see. I gotta see if I can.
I think I might have found an article. The regional rollouts are what's weird. So it's telling me it starts New York, yeah, midnight Eastern. Mexico City, so Central is 11, same time as PC. And then yeah, the US all starts, it looks like at the same time. That because that's all the same time.
All
Central
right, so
and Eastern.
You and I pitch in together and we'll get flights to New Zealand and we'll start playing a whole day earlier. How's that?
I can't do that. I don't fit on airplanes at all.
You are taller than me, which is crazy. What are you 6'5"?
Yeah, I'm 6'6" and I weigh 350 pounds.
Dude, that's wild because I'm 6'4" and like, dude, I can't plane one. I mean, obviously know how it is.
Oh,
like, I can't fit in shit, and I can't imagine being 6'6". I'm 6'4", like 210. So I've only been as high as like 230, but like, I mean, just the height wise, like, sucks, dude. Planes and all that crap.
Mine's width too. Like my shoulder, like I'm halfway over in the next person's seat. I feel so bad for whoever has to sit to me.
I don't how I am too. Yeah, I'm always like trying to get like this, so I'm not like, and then I'm uncomfortable because I don't want to make other people uncomfortable. So
right, exactly. Like I don't want to be that guy because I know they're like, oh shit, we got to sit next to this guy.
Yeah,
I can feel that. Like I'm sitting on an airplane and I see somebody come around the corner and board, and then they see me and they look at their ticket and they're like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. It's like I can't spend another $2,000 on a first class ticket.
Yeah, and like you can't move in the plane seats, trying to like, I don't know, man, it sucks. And then it's even worse. Like you and I, like we lift, so we're just also like larger on top of just being tall. So I'll just be like, I always try and like make myself smaller. I just feel bad because I'm just like, if I sit, it's exactly the same. Like the seat cuts off like here on me. Then I'm
Yeah.
like, but boom, is the bathroom over there?
I hit the 455 on bench today a few times. Do it again.
There you go.
Seven
Beast.
reps of 455. No spotter.
Jeez. Animal.
It was sweet.
I'd
I'm
kill
feeling better.
myself.
I worry about joints going like anytime. So I try to not go that heavy.
Hey, I mean, you're not going as hard as Ronnie Coleman, so I think you'll be okay.
Dude, that poor guy.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a lot to go through here on the blog.
What were we talking about? I forgot.
Call of Duty, I guess, or something.
Okay.
While we're off topic, okay. Not only on the ticker, you guys can see the Taylor Swift's album out for all you Swifties out there. So we got new T Swift. Man, it's a great week. We got new T Swift. We got new Call of Duty. I want to show you this. I just saw this. It's from a couple weeks ago. Oh man, a guy was elk hunting and a mountain lion started stalking him. Did you see this?
No, Jesus.
Dude, you have to watch this.
Last week we had the bear attack, and now we got a mountain lion.
I know. Well, because I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go deer hunting again, where we saw those bears. And I swear YouTube knows that. So like, let's crash all these scary ass clips and get him all freaked out. Okay, cool. So this one popped up from a couple weeks ago. This guy's elk hunting and a mountain lion is like stalking him and he has a Glock 27 and the balls on this guy. I would have shot way early. He doesn't shoot just to let you know, he doesn't kill it. He shoots warning shots around it and scares it off. But dude, like he waits so long.
Oh my god!
This
thing could get from where it is to him like so quick too. But to
and
be fair, bullets go faster. So
yeah, but it 100 new segment animal attack clip of the week. It 100% wants to eat him. It's got its ears back. It's stalking and like he shoots next to it right when it jumps. And he's filming it too. I don't know if he's got he's like pulling one of these.
I hope he's not doing
I hope not. I hope it's like a body cam or a GoPro or something. But dude, that guy waited so much longer than I would have waited. Like, and then it walks off. It just creepily walks off. Like, so after that, like you're changing your pants. See, like ears back walking at me.
Yeah.
I'm torching that thing like now. And then
mag dump.
And then when it goes behind that bush and you don't see it for a second, no, dude. No. Look at that thing, man.
That's scary. And he fired one like right over. That second shot went like right over it. I don't know if he was trying to hit it or purposely trying to miss, but
I don't know.
I mean, he's shooting really close to it, man. I don't know. Was he actually not trying to hit it? Because those bullets are narrowly missing.
I could see him like trying to hit it, and it's hard to shoot with.
That's kind of what it looks like. Maybe he was going like this and just missed those shots. He's like, yeah, I had to fire warning shots at it.
It's probably hard to hit stuff with a handgun in one hand, a phone in the other, and pants full of shit. Like, because I would be pooping everywhere. So like, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Chase is saying T Swift is cringe. Come on, dude. Get it together. I know that's the joke. Okay. So
I mean, speak for yourself, Crash. I love her music. So.
I'm not gonna say I haven't jammed to it a little bit here and there. All right. I'm not gonna say I haven't. Hey, to all you Swifties out there. These sex bots are back right on cue. Everybody's getting hot and bothered in chat. All right, here we go. So this is a blog post. I hope I have it on the screen. I do. Amazing. Shout out production team. I hope I have it on the yeah. Okay. This is a blog post from a couple weeks ago, but I thought we'd go back into it because it has quite a bit of multiplayer information. That's probably what everybody's most excited about. That's what's coming to us in a few days. So I highlighted a couple things to check out. Day one, there will be 12 unique modes. Pretty cool. 10 traditional modes on core maps and 2 ground war modes on battle maps. So we get to ground war and that. I wish there was a little bit more ground war modes, but again, it's all kind of addition. an addition to what COD normally is. It's not like Battlefield is supposed to have those, which I tried to play Battlefield today over lunch because of the new updates. And sure enough, it crashed. Like
I saw your tweet.
Dude, I didn't even get into one match. That game hates me and I hate it. Like, that's all there is to it. So
I mean, one would argue the game is just bad, but
yeah, more than one would probably argue.
Yeah.
So the maps are grouped into 3 traditional categories, so they're kind of from 3 different places. The Al Mazrah map, which is the Warzone 2 map, several of the maps come from there. There's several of the maps. It says, what does it say? Several core and battle maps will be based on this region, making multiplayer a phenomenal place to learn some of its points of interest and detail. So these has a little bit of a teaser to get ready for DMZ and Warzone 2. Los Alamos, which we got to play a little bit in the beta, I feel like. Mercado, yep, we had played that one. And then, so that's one of the big ones. Host a similar split of core and battle maps, and then the rest of the world. So they're going to be a little bit more diverse in that. The last group of multiplayer maps is an assortment of core maps with no specific region, a mixture of places within campaign and completely outside of the main storyline. Did see that the F1, the Formula One racetrack map is coming back. Looks like they got all the copyright stuff figured out on there, so that's good. So that's coming back. This is where I hope they lead into. I really like diverse maps from all over the place, and keeps the game interesting to me. And then they talk more about Spec Ops. They give quite a bit of information in Spec Ops and actually talk about missions. Did you look into this at all when it came out, like the Spec Ops stuff?
Yeah, I read through this whole thing, and like Spec Ops and raids, what they say in this blog post is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, they give a lot of information. The evolution of Spec Ops from 2019, this co-op experience will initially feature 3 missions at launch. So we're going to get 3 Spec Op missions off the rip. Low profile, where you infiltrate a town in the dead of night to uncover intel and evidence left behind by Al-Qatala before exfil. Excuse me. Stealth is key to survival. So as long as you crouch, you're fine. No one will see you. Denied area, multiple SAM turrets are preventing reinforcements from entering Al Mazrah with the help of vehicle navigate through winding streets. You get to drive again, GTA 6 gameplay. Then Defender, Mount Zaya. Love letter to fans of survival modes, defend observatory from increasingly difficult waves of enemies. Sounds like zombies a little bit.
I really don't like when flashbacks intensify. Love letter to the fans right there, but
yeah, not good. That brings back some memories. Between each wave, operators can spend cash to get items as kill streaks, self-revive kits, and armor plates. So that's pretty cool. It sounds like it's going to have one of the Spec Op missions is going to be like a mob style mode. This was interesting to me. And is this coming to DMZ? That's a great question, Crash. I don't know. It sounds like it could. In Spec Ops, operators will have access to a backpack. That's got to be in DMZ. To store equipment and one of 3 kits that are similar to a set of perk, field upgrades, and kill streaks in multiplayer. So I wonder if these kits in Spec Ops will be in DMZ. So you can choose to be an assault kit, increased armor with an armor box. Later levels include assault suit, munition, think mini juggernaut, increased armor capacity, and free stims. The medic kit, quicker revives, revive pistol, just like Battlefield 2042. Later levels include free bomb drones, similar benefits to double time perk, free claymores, anti-tank mines included in the backpack, and the recon kit, focused on better equipment usage with a snapshot pulse field upgrade to see nearby enemies. Later levels include the ability to automatically restock lethals and tacticals over time, the ability to carry extra equipment, a free heartbeat sensor, and spotter scope included in the backpack. So, boom. There you have it. That's
definitely going to be in DMZ and stuff. I feel like, I mean, you have like the perks and stuff like that, but I think like at base, those will probably be. I mean, they're saying it's going to be in it's definitely in raids. Is kind of what because they tell you in that post that they highly recommend leveling one of them up to like tier 5 or whatever before raids. So I think there's going to be something they're going to tie into DMZ in some way for sure.
Yeah. That would be cool when you're dropping in or getting ready to infill. Like, all right, who's going to be medic? Who's going to play assault? And everybody's kind of got their roles. And
yeah,
missions.
I was thinking it's exactly. So when you're doing like teamwork, it's going to make you like, I'm going to have to coordinate with you and be like, hey, what are you doing? Okay, well, we need a medic. So someone's got to be a medic instead of just like, I'm going to run my meta gun and not help my team, you know? So it sounds like it's encouraging specifically for Spec Ops and probably raids. It's going to be encouraging teamwork. So you're going to need to work together and choose the right kit.
Yep. We highly recommend completing all 3 Spec Ops missions with 3 stars and have at least 1 kit leveled up to tier 5 before raids. So it's going to be in raids. Direct continuation of campaign are introduced in Spec Ops later in the season. I want to know more about DMZ. Are they keeping people excited, or is it like Hazard Zone and it's dog shit? That's what I don't want to know. So then they talk about the ranks, level 1 to 55, unlock the platforms, multiplayer loadouts, and Spec Ops kits, weapon platforms. Each platform will have the challenges. Most will include progression trees. Spec Ops kits we talked about. Base operator unlock challenges, that's self-explanatory. Daily challenges, that's the thing. Additional challenges as well. They talked about there's going to be like, well, you did, in your video, I can't remember what you said. How many possible weapons are there going to be? Like 50 or something?
It's like 51 based on, with the base weapons is like 33, and then with the platforms it's like 51 or something. But that doesn't include all the variants you'll be able to make. Like, I mean, just looking at the M4 stuff that we had available in beta, I had like 15 variants off of that. So I mean, there's gonna be, I mean, I don't know. Someone could go look at that weapon conversion playlist I did for Modern Warfare 2019. But like I guarantee I'll be able to make probably like 200 weapons in this game. It's gonna be
so
wild.
more or less than 2042.
Dude, they really, I mean, unfortunately, they're not up to par with what 2042 delivered,
4 assault rifles.
2042, the 2 LMGs were what did it for me. They just nailed it. It's just like when I love LMGs,
man, flip a coin. It's crazy.
There's too many. I mean, they should have just stuck with one, so I don't need to think so hard. I mean, shit, dude, just stare at that screen. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Can't play the game because I don't know which one to pick, man. That's the reason I had to ultimately uninstall. I was like, I can't choose between these many machine guns. Just can't do it.
For me, it was the 4 assault rifles. That's
overwhelming.
Wow.
Coming from a machine gun guy, I mean, that's too much. Dude. How did your fucking brain comprehend that many choices?
It didn't. I don't play it. So the other thing that's good, Ricochet anti-cheat for all you cheating pieces of shit out there. The system will be actively monitoring and taking actions against cheaters. Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2. Learn how they operate to mitigate unfair play across both games. Watch your ass, cheaters. All right, Ricochet's coming for you. I wish I could track you down and fight you in a cage.
Me too.
That'd be fun. That would be a YouTube channel. To catch a cheater.
To catch a cheater, yeah. Get him in a ring or an octagon or something.
And we get Chris Hansen, and it's like they show up to a house to like buy cheats, and Chris Hansen's like, just take a seat right over there. And then they try to run. When they run out the door, they run into a cage with you and me, and we just let them out. I'm gonna get canceled. Okay.
Oh shit.
I guess that's everything to expect with multiplayer. I haven't been excited for a Call of Duty in several years, so I actually am. I'm gonna be hitting it hard in S&D and Hostage. I've been playing Modern Warfare 2019 S&D the last few weeks, and I'm pretty dialed in.
Yeah, I had to. I uninstalled, unfortunately, because I was like, when the campaign came out, I'm like, I'm not gonna go back and play anything. I'm ready. After I played the beta, I was like, I can't play anything else. So I'm eager to go. I mean, yeah, there's a lot. I'm gonna hit it hard too. I can't wait to just get in there. My sole purpose in life, once the game comes out, is level up the AKs to the max. That's really all. They have what I asked for the AKs, so I'm fairly certain someone from the studio watched some of my videos, because we got a lot of the stuff I was bitching about. So, and you've never seen that in a COD game, like some Zenny AKs drip going on. Like, I'm the happiest Call of Duty player in the world. That's all. I don't care what they do. Bring on the clown skins. Bring on whatever. I got my AKs that I want. I don't care what they do.
Somebody clip that and remember that for when they do come out with the clown and anime skins and Buff is pissed off. You got to play that clip. You said you didn't care. We need to remember that. 100%.
Oh man. Well, okay. I'll walk it back and say, for the first couple months, I won't care because I'll have my AKs. But then maybe like a year or two down the road, where they're like, we're introducing, Call of Duty, Mars Warfare into Warzone. I'm like, son of a bitch, this damn laser guns.
And I'm gonna take that clip, I'm gonna smack you in the face with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking about, and I don't know how this would do on my channel, like a little bit of candid stuff here. I've been thinking about, we'll see how it goes, but about making strategy guides and stuff for S&D and for hostage to get together with friends and have fun. And I thought about doing flyovers in the spectator mode, and then doing some like 3D animations of like where to post up and like what angles you could see, and I could do some of that stuff. And I don't know if there'd be a audience for it or not, or if it would just be like all the Battlefield people on my channel would be like, why are you playing Battlefield, you schmuck? So
I mean, you look at, like, I know there was some like Siege players when I was getting into Siege, like 2019, so it's already like 5 years after the game launched. And I would just look, and there'd be like map guides and in-depth stuff like this and that about angles. So I mean, I think there's definitely a niche in any community for that kind of stuff. So I always say is just do whatever kind of content you like doing, and that's usually it'll work out because you're passionate about it.
I'll be honest, I like getting views. That's what's kind of fun. I don't mean that in like the shitty way. That's all I care about. I care about making good content for my audience is like the sole number one thing. But for me, it's really fun to like try to like study analytics and like how to do your thumbnails and like how to make titles and descriptions, and that stuff's really fun to me.
It's always a good feeling when you do a video and it's like an hour in and you're like way above what you usually are pulling in, and you're like, shit, it's a good feeling for sure.
It's pretty cool. And then I've been experiencing the other side of it, where it's like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Yeah, love it.
Then there, man, a little game called Call of Duty Cold War, and then the most authentic World War II shooter known to man, Call of Duty Vanguard.
Really big in the reenactment space simulator.
Yeah. I mean, it was basically a milsim, and that did wonders for my channel. Just those numbers were pumping.
Yeah,
it was good. It was a point there I was like, maybe I just don't do anything till Modern Warfare 2. And the sex bots agree in chat. They seem they seem supporting with the emotes, though. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you, sex bots.
That says love. They love your idea. They're all in.
They're here for me. I dig
Absolutely. It. I do like the restream. It lets me delete it off the screen, which is super nice.
Oh, that's cool. That's neat.
It's pretty nice. Shout out Restream. I really like Restream. It's really cool. Quick shot time.
Yeah.
I don't have that many. Yeah, I don't. Just a couple things. One of which.
I'm sorry. Can I just?
What's going on?
I have to just Teddy's comment right now.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Really. I could hear the pain in Buff's voice when he made the F2000 showcase in Vanguard. Yeah, dude, that sucked. Let me just to be candid. Like, I cannot wait for this weekend so I can finally do some my actual fucking content again. I haven't been able to do my content in so long with weapon conversions because can't do anything in those other games, and I covered everything in my work. So yeah, when they did a modern weapon in Vanguard, hear the pain in my voice. Yeah, there was some pain there. I was like really pumped, and then it's like, but it's in Vanguard. So anyways, back to quick shots. Want me to do the sound effect for you this time, or?
I mean, I got unlimited ammo in this thing, so
okay.
I'll shoot it again. Nice. Yeah, it's got a really big mag. So this was interesting to me. This is like a chat alert. A Valorant player competed from a hospital bed and won a collegiate Valorant game. So, according to sources, Nishil Shah, he is a student at Old Dominion University, got really sick with pancreatitis and had to be admitted to the emergency room. And it goes on in this article on PC Games In. It talks about how cutthroat collegiate Valorant is, and like how Riot has keeps an eye on it, and people can actually become pros. So the scene is like incredibly competitive. Who they were going to play? See, Old Dominion is where he was. They were going to play West Virginia Wesleyan esports team, and they tried to reschedule it, and those bastards wouldn't reschedule it. So what does this guy do? He gets his Predator laptop from 2016, a mouse on a hospital tray, and just shits all over these kids from a hospital bed. Chat alert, okay?
Maybe they should have rescheduled, huh?
Yeah, they probably should have. I wonder what his stats and stuff were. I didn't see any of that stuff, but I just thought it was pretty crazy that this kid, they got a picture of him. He's like, 2 thumbs up. We just won.
Dude, I wonder if he was just like, I'd love to know his stats too, because like, what if he was just like a mediocre player, and they're like, no way, you're not rescheduling because they're like now they're down a player. We definitely have the advantage now, and then this guy just goes off, or he was like a really, really good player and just like was that good. But it'd be hilarious if he was like not great and just like went ham from the hospital, and they're just like, man, that really backfired.
yeah, imagine losing, find it out later that you just lost to the guy in the hospital.
Yeah.
I wonder what his stats were. I might have to do a little investigative journalism.
Yeah,
and figure out what's going on with that. But I just thought that was a really cool story, and I'm guessing that is his setup. So for those of you who are in the podcast, he's literally laying in a hospital bed. He has old school wired Apple earbuds in on an old ass looking Predator laptop, and his mouse, he's got one of those hospital tray things with that mouse. That's not his mouse pad, is it? It's like a big
I
poofy,
can't tell,
dude. It's like a big poofy ass
it
thing.
might be like a pillow thing or something that goes in your pillow to make it like a little softer or firmer, like a cushion or something. I don't know. It looks fluffy and soft, so I don't know.
They 2-0'd that team too. It says right here.
Man, that is embarrassing if you're that other team.
That's not good. That is.
Yeah, it's really bad. Oh man, there's like losing, and then there's losing, just getting swept by a team with a guy beating you from the hospital bed.
Yeah, he might have been on drugs and all.
Yeah, with pancreatitis. Yeah, just had a little shot of morphine before and just crushed it.
Insane, man. Insane.
What a beast.
So yeah, that's a cool story. I thought it was funny. The next thing I talked about, Buff tagged me with this on Twitter. It's pretty sad that Battlefield 2042 is now like a quick shot at the end of the show. Battlefield posted a Twitter video talking about the M16A3 vault weapon, and they took it down immediately, potentially because it has a new prototype tank that no one has seen before. So there is it looks to be a futuristic railgun tank. So you see the giant barrel, probably shoots with the electromagnets or whatever. And you can just kind of see
that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I saw, I think
Lossy had the
Lossy did it, yeah.
The screenshot was a little rough, but you can see it there in that video.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I wonder if DICE did that on purpose, or they really were just that up. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I wonder if they did it on purpose to tease
obvious.
it, or maybe that's something that's coming to season 3. Maybe.
Yeah,
it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Now, I'm just curious, was the video about like them buffing the M16 or something? Because I know it was performing under like bad compared to how it is in Portal or something.
I have no clue. I know they need to buff the Vol weapons. They said they feel kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, it's a really cool tank. Again, it ties into a lot of like the stuff we saw in the Final Stand DLC, I believe it was, from Battlefield 4. We saw a lot of those prototype tanks, the hover tanks and stuff like that too. So
yep.
At least they're kind of being consistent with some of their game timelines, I guess, kind of, maybe.
Yeah. I was talking to my buddy Walt. He's been on the show a couple times earlier today, and it's like he was talking about how he really liked when Jack Frags did the Across the Battlefield series, where he'd talk about the maps, and every time there'd be a DLC, he'd cover the maps and stuff. And I was like, dude, if you did that in this game, you would make 2 videos this year. There were 2 effing maps in this game, man. What?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty sad. And I mean, just staying on Battlefield for a second, and then they're introducing these vault weapons slowly into multiplayer. But I gotta be honest, man, I mean, I've already installed the game, so I really don't care. But it's hard to watch because in Portal they don't have all the attachments they had in Battlefield 3, for example. Here, but they're all sharing. I mean, the foregrips and everything like that are not the ones from Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
And they don't have all the attachments. So like, I mean, you get like one generic foregrip for your vertical foregrip for every gun in Battlefield 3, but it's not any of the ones that was in Battlefield 3. So, I mean, yeah, they're bringing in the gun and maybe 1 or 2 of those optics, but I mean, geez, just bring in it's just
Yeah, did you see the photo somebody posted? It showed the model of the AK-74U, and it had that generic 2042 foregrip on there, and it was like 3 times longer than the pistol grip, and the sight was like way out of, like, it was all disproportionate and looked silly, and they just dumped it in there. That's what you think about a lot of people who are like 2042 truthers, I guess, that think it's a good game with a lot of content. Dude, this is content that was in Portal that they're bringing over and calling content. The Liquidators had no new maps. It only had new cosmetics. It had a recycled game mode from Battlefield 4. Like, there's been hardly any new content. Like the reworks or whatever, but that's just finishing maps that they didn't get done before the game release. So it's wild.
Yeah, and I mean, when we talk about the vault, I mean, the Portal like is a cool idea that they, I think, just under-delivered on, unfortunately. But excuse me, when it comes to like weapons like this, you know, bringing it, like, for example, the M16A3 into multiplayer, it's weird to me that they didn't just like, what would instead of bringing the M16A3, why not bring? Okay, where's the M4 platform going to be in 20 years, right? And I mean, you can kind of see where it's going. Why not just make that version? Because it's not the Spear, which the M5, it's going to be different. You have like different, I don't know, just clearly, I mean, we've been over all the issues, but yeah, they're whatever.
It's wild. Yeah, guys, that's probably a program for the most part, other than chat. If you got time for some chat questions.
Yeah, we can do a little Q&A for sure. And I see Edward saying Medal of Honor Warfighter is underrated. I do love the missions there. Some of the even better than Modern Warfare 2, attention to detail. Yeah, and I've said it here on this channel, on this show. I think we've talked about it a lot. Is Medal of Honor Warfighter, if that game were to release today and just be refined a little bit, I mean, there is definitely some bad parts about that game, like the kill cams and stuff were just way too much and things. But if they re-released it and like remade it today and refined it, Medal of Honor Warfighter would be one of the top selling games, FPS genre of all time, easily. It's a shame EA just like let that die, and it's a shame no one over at EA is looking at the success of Call of Duty instead of saying, hey, let's release Battlefield and make it be like Fortnite, Call of Duty, like this and this. Like, you had a direct competitor to to Call of Duty, which was Battlefield at one point, and then you had an even more direct competitor, because Battlefield and Call of Duty were always different, but Warfighter itself, I felt, was, from a multiplayer perspective, boots on the ground wise, was more of a competitor to Call of Duty. So, man, I wish they would pull that back out and do it right.
Striking out here asking the real questions. Have any of you ever had Fireball? Yes. Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire is a little bit better, and mix that shit with cream soda, and it's amazing. It tastes like a cinnamon roll.
Might need to try that.
Favorite? Make sure I didn't miss anything.
Did you guys see the leaked
Minecraft?
Yeah, go ahead. You go. Minecraft.
No, I'm not answering that.
Yeah, that's not happening. But I see Chase has a good one. Did you guys see the leaked camos from Modern Warfare 2? Besides the Mastery camos, most of the camos give me huge Medal of Honor Warfighter vibes. I mean, that's what I thought too when I was looking at them. And even the M4, I think I said it during live stream, the M4 in that sniper mission had like that UDT green hexagon camo, which is like right out of Warfighter. There's a whole, and all the camos leaked. So did you see them crash? Because a lot of those, they have like the flat camos and some of the Like those are, yeah, they definitely Modern Warfare 2019, like the gunsmith and everything like that, they took directly from Warfighter, I felt, and they made it better. But the camos now in this, they definitely like went back and they looked at all those camos and definitely kind of did those because they look exactly the same, which is good. I love it. Love to see it.
I thought the Mastery camos were pretty good too. They had a lot. They looked finished. Like there was some like Black Ops 4 or something that came out that only like a couple parts of the gun, so they had like really good.
Yeah, I think that
cover.
was cold. I think that was Cold War. Yeah, it was like it would only cover parts of your gun, not the whole thing.
Yep. Edward asks, Crash and Buff, what's your favorite campaign mission from Modern Warfare 2?
You go first. What's yours? Because I gotta think about that one.
Oh, what? I suck. Because I just talk shit about it. But the sniper one, the gillied one, just because how it looked, and that sniper rifle, it looked like it was built on the SCAR platform, was fucking tits. Like, so I didn't like. I don't remember exactly which rifle it was. It looked like it.
The one Laswell had was a Mark 20 SSR, so that is a SCAR platform weapon, which we'll get in the game. The sniper you were using as Gaz was the Barrett MRAD. I think that fires 338 Norma Mag, I want to say.
I liked it. I like that.
Yeah,
that map looked cool. That had such a cool vibe to it. The laying down in the ghillie and the guys walking by you was like, I don't know. It gave me all ghillied up vibes, and like I like that was probably my favorite, and it was also my least favorite.
Yeah, I was playing it on Realism last night. I gotta go back and look at the footage because I thought I saw that part where you're laying down and the guys are passing over you. I thought I saw a guy with an AN-94, and I like did a double take. I was like, "What the?" I was like, "Did I just see an AN-94?" And I was like, "Do I shoot? Do I turn around and engage these guys to see if I can pick it up?" But I recorded it really fast. Yeah, I might have. I was probably just seeing it things, but I was like, for some reason, I didn't get a good look at it, and I wasn't really paying attention. But I was like, out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, that looked like an AN-94 profile, so I got to look at that. But my favorite campaign mission, honestly, I loved Close Air and Hardpoint were those two AC-130 missions. But I played those a lot already too because they were so fun. I went back and played them a bunch, especially on Realism, and did a video. But Killer Capture was awesome. That was that first one, that only night vision one we had. I really liked that one. I did that on Realism last night. That was a lot of fun. I also thought Dark Water was great. Ghost Team was pretty sick, to be honest. And I think what was the borderline where you're Alejandro and you go over the border. Like there was a lot of great missions. So to pick one is hard. I'm gonna just say the AC-130 missions just because they were just a blast to do. But there's a lot of really good missions here. So there's a handful of ones that I really, really liked.
Yep. Zach over on Twitch asking the real questions: bacon or sausage patties? My answer is yes.
I'll say sausage. I'll say sausage because I don't eat bacon because I value my heart. So
I'm gonna say by itself bacon, on a sandwich sausage patty.
There you go.
Anything else? I hope the firing range people are getting into is unfinished. Yeah, I think it is. I got into it a little bit, was jumping around.
Yeah, it must be, right? I saw people like on Twitter, like, man, they're like all serious and somber. Like, I really hope that's not finished. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, man, it's like dark, you can't see. Like, it seems like it's obviously unfinished. Why would they have the finished version of that in the campaign only? I mean, you're trying to save space. You're just really releasing bare minimum besides campaign. So it seems like, and you get day one patches, right? So just looking at it, I was like, there's no way that's finished because it's like pitch black in there also. So
yeah, I didn't think so either.
Yeah.
Night or day mission? I think maybe night. They're kind of cool and immersive.
Yeah, I love the night missions. I was kind of little bummed we only got one, but I think that Spec Ops mission is going to be a night vision, that one that we discussed. And I think that we're going to see a lot more. So I'm pretty pumped. Chase says full auto M14 coming. Yeah, I saw that. So that I got my hands on that thing in the campaign too. You get the full auto M14. There's a lot. I mean, and also I think we didn't talk about it. Crash, did you see all the leaked weapons that people got into? I mean, you might have been able to do it on your side
I
too.
did.
I don't know.
I looked through myself for quite a while.
Yeah. What do you think?
I should have made a video. Really cool. It's just there's a lot to I don't envy people like so your videos are more like into the milsim, like making super badass looking guns, but you don't get as much into the stats and stuff like that. Like the true game data and JGod and like exclusive ace, I feel for those guys because there's a lot there. There's a lot.
That's
there.
that's just too much. Like the spreadsheet data and stuff, dude. I do that enough for my real job, like analytical stuff. So like I'm not. I don't want to touch anything outside of my regular job. So
but
I'll stay away. I'll let them do that.
I'm excited. It didn't work right for me, but I saw the tuning, the little tuning thing that we talked about.
Sweet. Yeah.
Where you could change certain things. It wasn't working for me. Like I would click on it, it wouldn't do anything, but it was on the screen. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, there's just going to be a lot of guns to use, and it's going to make it fun because man, I'm going to go hard in search and destroy and stuff. And like, just, this sounds like the maps are being from like the 3 big regions or whatever. The maps might get a little stale, but there are a lot of weapons and things to work through.
Yeah, it is. And the good thing is, like with the unlocks, you have to play with other weapons because some of the unlocks are shared, but you can only get them from using another weapon. So it's going to encourage you to use all the weapons, which is awesome. Which weapon that you saw are you looking forward to using the most, you think?
Basically the I keep calling it HK91, but that HK family, the Lackland 762 in that family, just because my dad has one, and I love shooting that thing. It's just a cool gun, and like I love the HK stuff. So I'm excited about that and playing with those and I want to try to, because it had, and you told me to use it early in the beta because I don't think a lot of people knew, because the selector was backwards, and I don't think a lot of people knew it could go full auto, and in full auto that thing was nuts. So I kind of want to make a fast, well handling build of that with all that damage. And it's just a cool gun that I have a special place in my heart because I've shot one quite a bit, and I think they're pretty neat.
Yeah, that gun, that was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to most the AKs, and then I'd say outside of that, the scars. And then the one thing I was really excited to see on those leaked weapons list was the M13B. So the M13, I mean, we saw that as a SIG MCX Virtus SBR. We saw that in one of the original trailers and never saw anything else about it since. And a lot of us were wondering, like, is it not going to be in the full game? Is it maybe coming later as a post-launch weapon? But it's there, so that's awesome. So that's like probably my most used gun for Modern Warfare and specifically Warzone is the M13. So I'm pumped to see that, because that thing's going to have a lot of conversions, and I think it sets up some of the weapons that don't have a bunch of platforms with them, sets up a bunch of additional platforms to come post-launch. So I'm curious if we're going to get. And the other thing is, like, with weapons that are going to come with the seasons, like, you're not just getting one weapon. You're getting, 2 weapons, but platforms probably with those. So really, you're probably getting like 5 or more weapons, depending on how they do this. So I mean, that's really cool.
It's a pretty cool system.
I love the platform system, man. I mean, all those weapons looked awesome.
I hope the I always base all these because I have no clue how they're going to play in the game, like how much stuff's changed or what's going to be viable, what's going to be good or not. But I just go off my real life experience. I hope the Vector's viable. That's a cool gun I use. Rightfully so. The reload animation is always really long, but that's just how the gun is, with that mag release in a stupid spot. And then I've just never been an AK fan because my one of my best friends, my neighbor I grew up with in high school, he had one. It was a cheap Egyptian model one, and it was a piece of shit. So I have like a bad AK. Like I had bad experiences with AKs growing up.
I mean, so you have the you have the fortunate luck of living in a state where you can actually build some Gucci good stuff. So if you ever feel like investing in an AK, let me know, and I'll send you the parts you'll want. I'll make you an AK guy.
All right, maybe have to. I'm not a huge fan of the round, either.
Well, I mean, just get one chamber of 5.56. Yeah,
I guess. All right.
Yeah, see,
might have to do that.
we're gonna make him an AK guy, chat. Don't worry.
All right. Never an AK fan. Everyone's unsubscribing. All right, guys. All right, they're cool. I had bad experiences, man. Not that kind of bad. Yeah, it would randomly go full auto.
Yeah, that was in some of those cheap models. That's a known issue on some of those really bad AKs.
Not great. I do have some videos of me shooting my suppressors and stuff. I really want to get a threaded barrel for my 1911 and
that'd be
put that suppressor on there. But the damn threaded barrel costs more than as much as the whole gun. It's
Jesus.
wild. Well, not what that gun would cost now because it's a Wilson Combat, but
ooh, there you go.
But if you get the Wilson Combat barrel, it's like $1,500 for just a stupid barrel.
Good God.
That's why I don't have one.
Yeah, it makes sense. Edward in chat asking, have you guys watched Tomorrow War? Yeah, Edward, I actually liked it. I thought it was good. And I think it was like the M4 in there was like they had some Haley strategic mods on that thing. So I liked that movie a lot, actually.
Is that the one with Chris Pratt that came out a while ago?
Yeah, I think it was earlier in the year, the end of last year, where they have to go to like the future. Yeah, it was good. I thought
it was pretty cool. An airsoft video. I don't own an airsoft gun. I don't have any airsoft stuff. I was a paintball kid back in high school.
There you go.
Blast from the past. To the 1911 holstered in a game. It can also be found sitting on tables and stuff in different missions, but it can't be used. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't really look for one.
Interesting. Now I missed that.
I need someone to put like a 25 round prototype drum mag on a 1911 for me. I've been using that.
That'd be fun.
I've thought about it, Faulty. I thought about it, but I recorded some videos because I recorded some interesting videos about when you're shooting suppressed, the difference between subsonic and supersonic ammo was actually astonishing to me when I started getting into suppressed stuff. Just how loud the crack of the bullet is when it breaks the sound barrier. So I did some videos showing that. It picked it up on the mic pretty good, but I never edited it. Edited it. Yeah, that word. That word. The 45 round mag for the Makarov. Yeah, there's like 80 round mags on that thing, on that Tarkov pistol.
Yeah, the 80 rounder. Yeah, it's a real thing too.
How much do you think of the Sicario film references? A couple of them definitely stuck out to me.
Yeah, there was a few, but I was actually really surprised. Usually for every Modern Warfare campaign, there's like a mission, at least one, or some sort of like one of those over the top like scenes where you're almost dying, you get saved. It's like a reference from a movie scene. That's pretty 1-to-1, and I didn't really see any of those this time around. So they actually did a good job of like matching the tone and some of the settings with stuff like Sicario. Definitely some things here and there, but they actually did. I think they did a really good job kind of standing on their own with the story this time around. There was nothing really referenced to like movies or any real life things that we've seen too much. There's like definitely some, but not like past Call of Duties.
Cool. Asher's dad has all the high capacity 1911 mags over there.
Yeah, there you go. I see that. Jesus. 70 round. Oh my.
That'd be sweet. Mine's weird because the will said it's a slim frame, but it's a double stack mag, so it actually holds 11, which is cool. But instead of
That's
the 8,
that's cool.
so it would take it with some kind of weird ass mag.
Edgar says, "Good campaign, but I really wanted to play out the border crossing scene from the movie." Yeah, from Sicario. I'll say I'm a little shocked we didn't get that specific like scene in the game because they have that map in the multiplayer. So I thought that would have been that would have been sick as like a vehicle. You know, you're in the vehicles crossing the border with Soap and Ghost or something, and like that you just reenact that. That would have been awesome. I think that was a missed opportunity.
Yep. Are we calling that a program?
Yeah, I got a hungry cat here, so I guess so.
All right, Kitty's calling the shots. Guys, that was fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in across all of the different channels and everything like that. Listen to us ramble on about video games. Everyone, have an awesome time with the multiplayer launch. If you're hopping into that on Thursday night / Friday morning or the weekend, good luck to you guys out there on the battlefield in Modern Warfare, and we'll talk about it next Monday.
Yeah, thanks guys. Great show as always. Looking forward to the week ahead and multiplayer gameplay over the weekend, man. Weapon conversion's coming back. Crash is gonna be crushing it with some hostage rescue and some search, so it's gonna be a good time. I'm pumped.
Those hostages aren't gonna rescue themselves, okay?
Someone's got to do it.
That's
You're the
where I
man
come
of the
in.
job.
All right, don't even tell them not to worry. I'm coming for them Thursday night. We're gonna be there. So no, it'll be fun. So all right, guys, thanks again so much. Yeah, keep an eye on Buff's channel and my channel if you're into that stuff. And good luck out there. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Peace.